we don't want your money. This is a comment I received a while ago from an Indonesian woman actually, and she commented on one of my videos which I released a while ago, and the title is why you don't need to throw cash at your Indonesian girlfriend. I believe it was this video this lady commented, but actually her comment was sarcastic, and she gave a very interesting explanation also why she actually don't want our money and why she believes other Indonesian women also don't need or want our money. And I want to do a little bit of a deep dive today because this is a very interesting topic. I find many Western men need to know about and understand. It is about the fundamental misunderstandings about culture. So even though I'm talking about Indonesian culture today and Western culture, of course this video also can easily apply to the Philippines, to Thailand, to Vietnam, South America, Africa, you name it. So this video is really important today. In my opinion, there are two things which stand out when it comes to these fundamental misunderstandings. Number one is your cultural ignorance, yeah, and number two is how you tick as a man, your own psychology. And the cultural ignorance will eventually lead to bad judgment and misperception. And as you can see very clearly here, I also just made a bad judgment because I am on the wrong way. Here, walking amongst the beautiful rice fields in Hoi An in Vietnam. I'm currently in Vietnam, enjoying my time here. We'll be back to Indonesia very soon. Cultural ignorance and your own psychology, how you tick as a man, and yeah, your own self-image. Are you aware of these cultural differences at all? That's a good question, but the even more important question is, are you aware about yourself, your own psychology? What is your own self-image? So this lady, she explained in her comment, and you can read it also on my channel, a little bit about the social support system in Indonesia. It is called Gotong Royong, which is actually a Javanese word and means collaboration, yeah. And that's the social support system in Indonesia. It's about fundraising, helping the community work together, helping each other, supporting each other. And I also worked in Malaysia, by the way, as some of you might know. And I remember in Malaysia they also do have this Gotong Royong system. I remember when I was employed there that I think every month the Human Resources Department organized a so-called Gotong Royong event where like from each department several people could join or needed to join to clean up the beach or do some community work, clean up the hotel garden, something like that, you know, like a get together from all departments of the hotel to do some useful community work to support us and maybe even the nearby community. So this is the idea behind Gotong Royong, collaboration. And this is how these cultures are functioning. The Indonesian culture, the Philippine culture, the Vietnamese culture, all these Southeast Asian cultures and beyond. And this is the first very important thing you need to understand. It is basically in their blood. Yeah, even there are natural disasters from time to time. You have them in the Philippines in the form of typhoons, and you also have them, for example, in Indonesia in form of volcano eruption, earthquakes, and even tsunamis, as we all know, right? But even though you experience natural disasters, as long as the family is standing together and helping and supporting each family member, you know, the pain is not so strongly felt. Well, this is the idea behind it. This Goongrong System gives a sense of security, and people understand that they depend on each other for help and support. Yeah, and actually it sounds everything sounds very common sense and makes us think maybe, hey, wasn't this the case maybe 100 years ago in our Western countries? Yes, it was the case, you know, strong social support, connections, dependency, you know, even the life was tough, but nobody really went hungry. Who knows what I'm saying here? I mean, the times were really tough also in Germany or in Europe 100 years ago, 150 years ago, but you get the idea, right? It was a way stronger support during these times among the families and the communities. Yeah. Talking about community. This is what you have basically in all Asian societies, still on Southeast Asian societies, you know. But I want to talk about the difference between communities and Western cultures and Asian cultures. You know, question is, do we have something like a community in Western cultures still today? Big question mark. The main difference I find between the Western cultures and the Asian cultures is definitely the Western cultures are way more individually organized, and the Asian societies are way more community based. Why that is a different topic, different video, different occasion for discussion. I'm not gonna go into this topic here today now, but it is just the way it is. Western cultures are way more individualistic compared to the Asian cultures. That's a fact, and one can argue which is no better, which not. Some have advantages, some disadvantages. I'm not going to go on all the details here now. And this is what you as a Western guy have. You have that mindset. You have this individual mindset. That's the problem. Here in Asia, there's this community mindset. You know, this is one big difference already, which you are maybe not aware of. That you carry that mindset, that perception. And also, I think, as a Western guy, when you come to these countries, your perspective is skewed to a higher degree or a lower degree. What do I mean by that? I mean that we Western guys, and I can talk from myself, from my own perspective at the time when I arrived in these countries, you know, this rich, poor thinking, you know you're coming from a rich country, a Western country, a wealthy country, and you're traveling to these poor third world Southeast Asian countries. This is also what we are being taught in Europe, you know, sometimes also very subliminal, what you get from the news and education and stuff like that. So our perception about these countries and cultures is more like they are poor, they are behind, and we are the rich guys, you know. And coming from a Western country, we have a way more materialistic mindset and thinking. In our culture, in the Western culture, money seems to be the solution to all the problems, right? So it's an individualistic culture where material things count and money talks, right? But on the other side, in Indonesia, for example, you have this Goongrong System. Is money really the solution? Question mark. I don't go into this money topic here today. It's important, we need it and this and that, but is money really always the solution to everything? Question mark for you. And also in our Western countries and cultures, we have this competition going on, everybody is competing against each other, who is accumulating more wealth, more material things. I got a big house, I got 2 cars, I'm flying business class around the world and my employer is paying for it. How cool am I, and this and that, and showing off and keeping up with the Joneses, collecting pat on your backs, and it's all about status, money, and grandstanding, right? It's true that also the Asian societies and basically the entire world is now affected by this Western mentality and mindset, and it is detrimental. We can agree to that. It has also been invading the Asian societies. People become more materialistic and greedy, and social media also plays a part. So now it gets really interesting. We want to talk about how you tick as a man. So we covered the first part, your cultural ignorance, what do you know about these Asian cultures or Indonesian culture? You don't know much in the beginning. And then number one, and your ignorance, and then you have your own Western mindset. You bring this to these countries and you bring something else. Your own psychology, your own self-image, the way you see yourself, and also the way you tick mentally, psychologically, emotionally. This is all, or most of it, also based in your upbringing and in your culture. It is rooted in that. The big, let's say, problem, it's not really a problem, but it can be a big problem, is for us men, especially for the Western men, is we want to be the savior. We want to be the knight in shining armor, the rescuer, Prince Charming. But the big question is, do we really need to save these girls or ladies or women? Do we need to rescue them? And the other question which arises, do they want to be rescued? Do they want to be saved? And saved from what? From poverty or from I don't know what? Have you ever asked these ladies actually? Or is it just what you think and assume based on your prejudices, biases, opinions, cultural background, ignorance? I think this is a valid question we have to ask ourselves, and I include myself into this here, Why do men want to save women? Why they want to rescue them? It's because of our helper gene we carry in us. We are problem fixers. We are solution finders by evolution. It was always that way. This is how we tick. Well, this is nothing bad, because life is apparently full of problems and they need to get fixed. So we need to find, or we want to find solution to these problems, right? So it's better if there's somebody around who really can deal with these issues and problems, finding solution, get things done, fix it, get it out of the way. overcoming the obstacles. And this is what we as men value. We value competency, power, efficiency, and achievement. This is what's important to us. We men, we are motivated when we feel needed. And this is a crucial aspect here. Yeah, we need to feel needed. And this is what motivates us. Our sense of self is defined by the ability to achieve results. This is where we derive our sense of self from. And another thing is that I just noticed, and you maybe too, that this road stopped here. But never mind, we just turn around, Google Maps just let me down. Yeah, shame on me, I'm using Google Maps. But it's still the best on the market. But according to Google Maps, this road is connecting to another one. Never mind, there's plenty of space to walk around. Yeah, and when we men talk about a problem, when two men discuss, or when one man is talking to another guy, sharing his problem, then for the other man, this is automatically like an invitation to give advice and to find a solution. This is how men talk, how they operate, stuff like that, So, if your best friend, which is a guy I assume, is coming with a problem to you, he actually wants advice and a solution, and you are willing to help, you're glad to give advice, you put on your Mr. Fix cap, right? That's what we do. And then it's all about fixing the problem as efficient as possible, because we want to get results. We want to achieve these results. Yeah. We want to make improvements when we are approached as a solution for a problem. Yeah, this is how we tick. This is how we function as men. I thought it was important to point these things out here, to bring it into your consciousness, that this plays a huge role in the behavior of many men when they suddenly come to Southeast Asia. So this is the story. We have a little poor princess sitting on the roadside, crying, don't know what to do, and you come along on your horse in your shining armor, and you feel the strong need to rescue her. Why? Because you want to feel needed, and if she needs to be rescued and you can rescue her, then you feel needed, right? And that's your achievement at the end of the day. You picked up this little poor princess, you saved her life, you fixed a big problem for her. That's what you think. It's the own story you tell yourself. You self-market this kind of stuff to yourself anyway. So, but this is your story. That's the story you tell yourself. You saved this little girl, the poor little beautiful princess, and now you are the big accomplisher and the achiever. This is how we tick. Now, on a side note, just to mention this, women function a little bit differently, and not only in Asia but everywhere actually. I just mentioned that when we men are talking, about a problem, it's all about finding a solution quickly. When women talk about an issue or problem, it's not mainly about finding a solution. It's more about sharing. They want to talk about this problem to feel better. Women tick a little bit differently. I will not go into this today, but I find it's important to understand also in this context here. women derive their sense of self from more relationship and sharing, and this kind of stuff. So it's empathy versus solution. When women talk, they share, they want empathy. Men, when they talk about the problem, they want to get a solution. Very rational approach. Yeah. So, of course, women know how men tick. Yeah. And some of them certainly will take advantage. They play this game. They're playing the poor princess, and and we men fall for it. It's not all women who play this game, but for those of you guys who travel to Southeast Asia, to the Philippines, to Thailand and other countries, you know what I'm talking about here. Yeah. It happened to me a few times in the Philippines and also in Thailand. It didn't happen so much in Indonesia, but I don't want to say that this is also not happening in Indonesia. You have gold diggers everywhere and anywhere, in Indonesia, in the Philippines, in Germany, in the United States, and even in Argentina, believe it or not. And I bet we have a lot of them in Colombia and Venezuela, also famous spot for expats to actually live and pick up women and hook up with them, right? Of course, you have these gold diggers. Women are smart creatures. They pick up on our neediness. They know exactly how we tick, and then they start to play their game if they want, They know exactly instinctively that we are problem fixers and that we want to help, we want to find a solution, we need to feel needed as men, and we want to feel competent, especially in front of a woman, right? Yeah, so these are the things. Let me conclude this video now. So we talked about fundamental misunderstandings about culture and how important this is to get rid of these misunderstandings. These misunderstandings are based in your cultural ignorance. You don't know nothing about the culture, or not much, or you don't want to know, you don't want to learn. And also your own psychology is playing against you as a man. So these two things combined, in my opinion, there are certainly other components also, but I find these the major important components which lead to these bad decisions, mostly also bad financial decisions, and misperceptions. What is the solution to all this? The solution is learn about the culture. Be interested, not just only come to Thailand or the Philippines or to Indonesia or to Vietnam with the intention to bang a bunch of girls and then leave again. You can do it. Everybody can do what he wants, But don't do one thing in a certain way and then expect a completely different result. And this is also actually an interesting part and topic, Men do some stupid things and then they're wondering why things happen and rolling out in a certain way. And then they start crying and playing the victim. What can I say? It is sheer stupidity in these cases mostly, Learn about the culture, be interested, learn about their mindset. The mindset of the girl, the mindset of the society. Not only the mindset of the girl. The girl is the girl. She has her own personality, but we need to understand that she is part of a greater society, and also these societies they have their own values. They are rooted in a certain history and this and that. Learn about it. Learn about the society, because this will help you to get insights into this whole thing, into the culture, and then you will understand much better how these women operate, how they tick, you know, and also that you can adopt and learn and understand. Yeah, you will eventually make less mistakes, and that's what it's all about. Learning and making less mistakes, you know. Becoming better judges, you know. When we get rid of our ignorance, then we make way more better judgments, and we are able way better to discern. It's all about discernment at the end of the day. And if we can make better judgments and are able to better discern, then we make also way better decisions, you know. So the last thing I want to say is that, yeah, question yourself, question your own prejudices, question your own stereotypes, question your own biases, and question your own opinion before you come to these countries. Or even you are in these countries already a long time and you don't know, and you're still playing around, fooling around, or you are being played, or you are being fooled, and you're wondering what the heck is going on, you know? All these girls are bad or scammers or I don't know what. No, it's not that, you know. Scammers are very smart people. They find their victims pretty quickly, and if you are a loser, then you're gonna get played. That's what happens to losers, yeah, and victims. They're gonna get played, they're gonna get ripped off, you know. And this is actually, maybe you deserve it, you know. Get smart, get intelligent, wake up, learn about the culture, get rid of your bloody ignorance, you know. Be interested also in the culture, and not only in don't be only just interested in laying her or getting laid or stuff like that. I mean, at the end it's up to you what you want, but you know, it's a journey at the end of the day. It's not only a journey from point A to point B, let's say from traveling from Germany to Indonesia. No, it's an inner journey, in my opinion. An inner journey. You learn about culture, different cultures, you learn about different nationalities, values, the Goongrong System, the social support system in these countries, how community actually works here, and what the benefits are, and the values which are still existent here, and which are of high priority to these people. Yeah, values like family and community and helping each other and putting food on the table, you know. These people here, they can survive, believe me, without you also easily. Yeah, money is not so important as we think in our Western cultures. This is a fundamental flaw we carry with us, you know, because we are swimming in our own waters like a bubble, and we think how things work in the Western world is automatically how things work in other cultures. No, it's absolutely not true. You will be up for a rude awakening, or should I say for a great awakening. You know, it is for your own benefit if you are open and open-minded and learn about these cultures and these people. You will enrich yourself tremendously, I can tell you. And yeah, it's not a journey from A to B, it's an inner journey. You also will learn a lot about yourself. And this is at the end of the day why I after all this stuff, you know, why I became a traveler. I want to learn, I want to grow. And it's an inner journey first and foremost for me, you know. I don't know for other people. But this should not be a judgment, you know. I don't want to judge. Don't get me wrong, okay? For me, traveling is like also an inner journey. And for other people, it's just banging a bunch of girls, you know. So everybody should do and like what they want to do and like. But then don't expect too much, you know. If you are constantly doing the wrong things and you are stupid and ignorant. Don't expect great things, you know. In order to get insights, you need to open your eyes and your mind and want to learn. So with that being said, I think enough preaching for today, guys, right? Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you say, oh, that's a bunch of nonsense what you were talking about, Marcel? Or are you confused now? I don't know. Let me know. I find this topic interesting and fascinating because it really gets to the root of many, many issues, you know. Thanks for watching. Enjoying the rice fields here. Beautiful. See you in one of my next videos. Take care. Bye bye.